The woman is relaxing at home one evening with her dog when something creeps her out. Her dog, who had been calm and peaceful moments before, suddenly becomes agitated. The animal starts growling and staring at a dark corridor in the house. Something the woman can't see. Dogs are known for sensing things humans can't, and right now, this dog looks like it sees something in the darkness. The woman follows her dog's gaze, but sees nothing unusual. But her dog's behaviour is so unsettling that she grabs her phone and starts recording. She thinks maybe the camera will capture what she's missing.
He just keeps staring down the hall like he sees someone. What was that?
Something moves. A dark, shadowy figure shifts in the corridor. The woman still can't see it with her own eyes, only through the camera screen. But her dog's fear was real, and whatever it was sensing in that hallway, the camera saw it too.
What was that?
A paranormal investigation team called 13th Floor Haunted Media Productions recently uploaded footage from one of their investigations. In the video, they investigate the Broadwell Funeral Home in Felicity, Ohio. The funeral's homeowner, Mike, claims to have been experiencing disturbing activity for months before reaching out to the team. He reported hearing disembodied voices echoing through empty rooms, seeing shadowy figures moving in his peripheral vision, and feeling an overwhelming presence watching him while he worked. The building has a long history, and locals have long suspected it's genuinely haunted. The 13th floor team arrived with full equipment, setting up cameras in every room, determined to document whatever was causing Mike's experiences. At 11:57 p.m, 4 team members were spread out throughout the building, 2 investigating the basement and 2 exploring the upstairs. The main floor, where Mike had reported the most activity, was empty, monitored by only static cameras. That's when something appeared.
This footage comes from the security cameras that were set up. As you can see, a shadow flies by quickly from left to right and disappears. There were 4 of us in the building at the time, 2 in the basement, 2 upstairs. This footage is from the main floor where nobody was present at 11:57 p.m. It is the clear outline or shadow of someone. But the main question is who? Here is a freeze frame. Clearly it is the outline of a person.
The night vision footage shows an empty hallway, then a dark shadow suddenly zips across from left to right at incredible speed. It moves so fast it's almost missed, but when the team reviews the footage and zooms in, the shadow becomes clearer. They and their viewers say that this is not just a random shadow, it looks way too human and it's moving at unnatural speed. The investigation team emphasizes that all 4 members were accounted for at that exact moment. No one was on the main floor where this was captured. Given the location's history as a funeral home, the team believes that this could be a former client, someone who passed away in the building or was prepared for burial there. Funeral homes are known to be paranormal hotspots, places where the boundary between life and what comes after feels thinner. Whatever the 13th floor team captured that night, the owner thinks it proves that he wasn't imagining things. He is convinced that something is haunting the Broadwell funeral home, and it moves faster than anything living. A Reddit user who goes by the username What Amy Said shared the following footage. It's late at night and the 2 are recording a casual video, just chatting and venting about rising costs and everyday frustrations. The area they're walking through is known locally for paranormal activity, with reports of ghostly figures appearing along the roadside after dark. But Amy isn't thinking about any of that. She's just focusing on recording with her friend. That is, until something appears that makes her stop mid-sentence.
I can make the same amount of money I made when I was out of high school, you know? It looks like there was a fucking figure just standing right there. That's so crazy. I think it was my own shadow. That happens way too often.
A dark, shadowy figure can be seen standing partially in the bushes beside the road. It is visible for just a few seconds, then it vanishes completely, as if it was never there. Amy immediately posted the clip to Reddit, where it quickly went viral, but Redditors were divided on what exactly Amy captured that night. Some believe it's simply the shadow of her friend, distorted by the headlights of a passing car, but others point out that the shape looks too defined, too deliberate, and the way it disappears doesn't match how a normal shadow would behave. Given the area's reputations for hauntings, many believe Amy encountered something paranormal that night, something that was watching them from the darkness and vanished the moment it was noticed. In this next clip, a young man named Ahmad shares some footage that left him genuinely unsettled. It's a perfectly normal day. Ahmad is at home, looking after his younger sister while his parents have gone out, when his sister comes up to him, excited to show off some drawings she made. At first, it seems innocent enough. She's just a kid who's proud of her artwork, but as she shows him her drawings, Ahmad soon realizes something is very wrong.
Wait, what do you want to show me?
My picture I drew.
Your picture you drew.
That's Daddy, that's Mummy, and that's me.
And what's that?
That's Steve.
Steve?
Yeah, Steve.
Who's Steve?
My friend.
Your imaginary friend?
My best friend.
Your best friend Steve? You've got a best friend that looks like this?
It's my best friend Steve.
Okay. I'm leaving the house.
Ahmad's sister proudly displays her drawings. There's one of their dad, one of herself, and then Steve, a disturbing figure with a demonic face that she calls, quote, her best friend. Ahmad asks her about it, clearly confused. She insists Steve is real and that he's her best friend, but there's no one named Steve in the house. A few days later, she shows him another drawing. This time, there are 3 figures.
Mama said you got 2 imaginary friends.
No, I've got 2 best friends.
You've got 2 best friends.
Yeah, 2. Do you want me to show you in a picture?
Who's that?
That's Steve.
Yeah.
That's Margaret.
And who's that?
That's you.
That's me.
Yeah.
No, but you spelt my name wrong.
Yeah, but that's you.
That's me.
Yeah, with your mustache and your eyebrows.
My eyebrows?
Yeah.
My eyebrows look like that?
Yeah, your bushy eyebrows.
Wait, so why have you drawn this for?
Because Steve doesn't like you.
Steve doesn't like me.
Yeah, but Margaret likes you.
Margaret likes me.
Look, she's holding your hand.
She's holding my hand. She's eating me. Are you sure Margaret likes me?
Yeah, she's holding your hand.
Do I need to be worried?
No.
No.
Ahmad says he's genuinely scared now. These aren't normal imaginary friends, but what do you think is going on here? Just a child's imagination or something darker? Share your thoughts below. Back in 2024, a preschool teacher who goes by the username OKSpot2913 on Reddit posted a photo that left thousands of people disturbed. The teacher was in her classroom during the kids' nap time. All the children were asleep and she was quietly tidying up. When she finished, she decided to take a photo to send to her friend, but when she looked at the image more closely, she noticed something that left her spooked. In the photo, standing near the table, is the image of a child, but something about the child's appearance is deeply unsettling. The teacher insists that when she took the photo, all her young students were in their cots, fast asleep. Thinking it might be a glitch, she immediately took another photo of the exact same spot. The second image came back completely normal, no figure and nothing unusual. When she posted it to Reddit, commenters pointed out how clearly the childlike figure appears. It's just too defined to be a camera error. After capturing this image, the teacher can't shake the feeling that something is haunting that classroom. Perhaps the ghost of a child. But what do they want? On November the 3rd, 2024, two friends are driving home in their truck after being stuck in traffic for over an hour. A motorcycle accident had shut down the road ahead, and they've been waiting for emergency crews to clear the scene. Finally able to move forward, the friends are relieved and decide to film themselves singing along to music to lighten the mood. But as the camera records, something appears behind them. This is what was caught on camera. As the friends sing and dance, completely unaware, something that looks like a pale face suddenly materializes in the back window of the truck. The face appears to float in midair with no visible body attached to it. It hovers there behind them, just watching. The pale, disembodied face stayed visible for several seconds before vanishing completely, leaving the friends absolutely horrified when they reviewed the footage later that night. But it gets even more disturbing. When the friends watch the video, they realize something truly horrifying. Someone tragically passed away in the motorcycle accident that caused the traffic jam they were stuck in. The friends now believe that what appeared behind them could have been the victim from the crash. Neither of them saw anything while recording, which could mean that whatever this was appeared only on camera. Is this the ghost of the person who tragically passed away just moments before? Let me know what you think. In this next scary video, a couple who own a pet store in West Virginia shared security camera footage after it captured something disturbing. The owners took in an old stray dog that they let roam freely around the store, even when they're closed. One morning, when they arrive to open up, they find the dog trembling and visibly terrified of something. Concerned, they reviewed the security footage from the night before to see what had frightened the dog. What they discovered left them shaken. The footage shows the dog walking through the empty store in the middle of the night. Then, without warning, the dog is suddenly pushed by something, as if an invisible force shoved it. Thankfully, the dog wasn't injured, but he was clearly traumatized. Who knows what he must have gone through that night, all alone with whatever pushed him. When the footage was shared to Reddit, viewers were disturbed by how aggressive the incident appears. The couple says they've never experienced anything paranormal in the store before this, and they can't shake the feeling that something sinister is lurking after dark. A security guard in Indonesia posted footage that has viewers convinced he captured something paranormal on camera. Sneaky recently moved to a rural area to take a security job monitoring a local park. Locals immediately warned him about the land he'd be patrolling. They told him it's haunted by the spirit of a woman in white. At first, Sneaky dismissed it as superstition, but then he started hearing the screams every night. At the exact same time, blood-curdling shrieks would echo through the darkness. He spent hours searching the area, but has never ever found anyone out there. Eventually, Sneaky decides to set up a night vision camera, pointing it at the area where the sounds seem to originate, and this is what the night vision camera caught.
Buat semua yang ada di sini, buat semua penunggu yang ada di sini, mendekatlah, tunjukkan dirimu. Buat semua penunggu yang ada di sini, mendekatlah, tunjukkan dirimu. Buat semua penunggu yang ada di sini, tiba-tiba nggak bisa gerak. Buat semua penunggu yang ada di sini, gerak sendiri. Ini kenapa ya? Buat semua penunggu yang ada di sini, tolong mendekat.
The footage shows an empty field, nothing but trees and darkness. Then, in an instant, where there was nothing before, a white figure materializes, just as suddenly as it appeared. When Sneaky posted the video online, many of his followers immediately recognized what he'd captured. They believe it's a kuntilanak, a terrifying female spirit from Indonesian folklore, known for appearing as a woman in white and emitting horrifying screams. Sneaky says he still hears the screams every night, but now he knows what's making them, and knowing doesn't make it any less terrifying. Elizabeth, who goes by the username Mentally17 on social media, shared a series of posts that have left her followers genuinely scared. Elizabeth lives alone, but claims to have been hearing strange noises around the house at night. At first, she thinks nothing of it is probably just the house creaking or the wind outside. But then one night, she snaps a photo of her kitchen to show her boyfriend, and that's when she spots something that makes her heart stop. The image shows her kitchen late at night, and at first glance, there's nothing unusual, but when Elizabeth zooms in, she notices something that makes her skin crawl. What appears to be a human head can be seen peeking around the doorframe, watching from the shadows. The angle is unnatural. The way it's positioned suggests someone or something was hiding just out of plain sight. The photo quickly went viral, with thousands of comments flooding in, warning her that she might have an intruder, or worse, something paranormal lurking in her home. Shaken by the responses, Elizabeth went quiet for several days. When she finally posted again, she assured her followers she was safe, explaining she'd left to stay with her boyfriend. She posted another image of her kitchen, this time to show everything was fine, but her attempt to calm viewers had the opposite effect. Again, the image appears normal at first glance, but when Elizabeth's followers examined it more closely, they spotted something pretty creepy. What looks like a pair of eyes can be seen staring in through a small gap under the back door curtain. The realization that something was still there, even in what she thought was a reassuring update, sent her comment section into chaos. People begged her not to return home and to call the police, to have someone check the house. In response, Elizabeth posted a short video walking through her home to prove there was nothing by the back door, but the video does anything but settle her followers' fears. Elizabeth is trying to show her followers that the kitchen is empty, that their fears are unfounded, but as she records, sharp-eyed viewers notice something she doesn't. What looks like a hand reaching out from beneath the closed door can be seen, is visible for a split second, before disappearing. After Elizabeth posted the clip, her comment section exploded with theories. Some believe Elizabeth is being stalked by a frogger, someone secretly living in her house and creeping out at night to watch her. Others are convinced she's being haunted, that the figure peeking around corners and the eyes in the window aren't human at all. Whether Elizabeth is dealing with an intruder or a spirit or something else is a mystery, but her posts are genuinely terrifying. This next creepy clip in this week's video was uploaded by a Thai TikTok user who goes by the username Matelu4256. Metelu was driving alone late at night along a stretch of road in Thailand that has a dark history. Over the years, this particular section has seen an unusually high number of traffic collisions, many of which have resulted in people tragically passing away. Locals say the road is cursed, that something draws vehicles to crash in that exact same spot. Because of this reputation, Metelu drives cautiously whenever he passes through, keeping his speed down, staying alert. He's heard reports from drivers who swear they saw something in the road moments before losing control. But on this night, he's about to experience firsthand why so many collisions happen here. Metelu's dashcam shows the empty road ahead. Then, without warning, a figure appears in the middle of the road. Metelu reacts instantly, swerving hard, avoiding hitting whatever it is. His heart racing, he regains control of the vehicle and immediately checks his rearview mirror, expecting to see someone standing in the road behind him. But there's nothing there. The road is completely empty. Confused and shaken, he checks his dashcam footage when he gets home, and what he sees makes him doubt whether what he saw was something living or something else entirely. The figure in the recording appears translucent, almost see-through. Many believe Metelu encountered the spirit of someone who tragically passed away on that cursed stretch of road, perhaps appearing to warn drivers, or maybe trying to cause another accident. Some think the figure is responsible for the collisions, manifesting suddenly to startle drivers and causing them to lose control. Metelu says he now understands why so many accidents happen in that exact location. This next scary video was uploaded after a young woman noticed something that scared her in her neighbour's front yard. It's late at night and the woman has just woken up from a nightmare. Feeling shaken, she goes to the kitchen for a glass of water to calm herself down. That's when she suddenly spots something through the window. Confused and unsettled, she quickly grabs her phone and starts recording. This is what she saw. Dark, shadowy figure stands motionless near the porch of the house next door. It's tall, completely still, and doesn't look like any person she's ever seen. Even her neighbour comes outside to investigate, clearly noticing the same thing she does, but neither of them can figure out what it is.
Okay guys, my neighbors aren't home, but as you can see, there's no Halloween decoration. So it wasn't that.
The next day, the woman returns to the spot and films again, hoping to find some kind of explanation for what she witnessed the night before. But there's nothing there, no reason for what both she and her neighbour saw. To this day, she can't explain it, and after uploading it to the internet, some viewers commented that it could have been a Halloween decoration, but the woman insists her neighbours never decorate for the holidays. So, what do you think this is? In this next clip, a man wakes up in the middle of the night to the sound of a child crying. The noise is coming from somewhere in his house, but he lives alone. Disturbed and confused, he grabs his phone and starts recording, trying to locate the source of the crying. As he films the dark hallway, he's completely focused on listening for the sound, but his camera captures something he doesn't see in the moment. In the doorway ahead of him, partially hidden in the shadows, something that looks disturbingly like a small pale face peers out. The face watches him as he records, just staring. The man has no idea it's there. He's too focused on finding where the crying is coming from. But when he reviews the footage later, he is terrified to see what was watching him from that doorway. He and his viewers now believe that the crying he heard might have been coming from whatever that pale figure was. But what do you think? In this clip, a father takes his two kids to the playground for an afternoon of fun, but as he records them playing on the slide, his camera inadvertently picks up something that makes his blood run cold. At first, nothing seems unusual, it's just another family video. But when he watches the footage back later that night, he hears something deeply unsettling. Listen carefully.
Go! Come on! Come on, go! Come on! I've seen this before in the game.
Did you hear it? As the video plays, a disembodied voice can be heard in the background.
Go! Go!
Now, according to the father, he didn't hear anything out of the ordinary at the time. He thought his kids didn't hear anything either, but then he notices something disturbing in the footage. Just before she slides down, his daughter suddenly freezes. She seems to be fixated on something off camera, as if she's seeing something the adults can't. This happens at the exact moment the voice can be heard calling for help. The father has no explanation for the voice on the recording or why his daughter looks so frightened at that moment, but he is now terrified that something was at the playground with them, something calling out, and maybe his daughter was the only one who could see it.
Go!
This next creepy clip was uploaded by a man named Davey D, who recently got hired to renovate a house in Oakland, San Francisco. He mentions in his videos that he believes his soul attracts spirits, that they seem to follow him wherever he goes. He's experienced paranormal activity before, but never quite like this. One day, he's working alone in the house and decides to record a vlog for his viewers. Everything seems normal until he starts hearing noises coming from upstairs. He knows he's completely alone in the house. Doors are locked and no one else has access, but someone or something is making those sounds. Soon enough, Davey D's vlog turns into something much darker. This is what he caught on camera.
But yeah. Whoa, what the hell? Is this what I'm talking about? You guys heard that? Whoa. I don't want to go up there. I do not.
What sounds like someone moving around can be heard coming from upstairs. Davey D is creeped out, but can't help investigating to find out what's going on. But as he records, he notices something that stops him in his tracks.
Oh, I've seen like an elbow leave this room, but there's nobody else that lives here. This is my client's house. Oh, I swear. Oh my God. Oh, that's what I'm talking about right there. This is shaking. There's nobody else in the house with me. I swear. This is where I heard those footsteps at. Oh, it's coming from here. Oh, there's a little... Oh my goodness. That right there. That right there is always... I'm sorry, I can't even talk right. I'm not here to hurt nobody. I'm just here to work. Don't follow me home. I don't want nobody following me home. Thing's still shaking, dude. I can't even look at it. Maybe some of these objects are haunted. What the Yo, this is moving and this is moving. Why isn't this one moving?
The lampshades throughout the house are swinging around all on their own. Not just one, but multiple lamps in different rooms, all moving at the same time. Davey D says there's no wind and no ventilation that could cause this. Davey D says he finished the renovation work despite everything happening around him, but he has no idea what occurred in that house before he arrived, or why so much activity was concentrated there. All he knows is that whatever was in that house wanted him to know it was watching.
But yeah, whoa, what the hell?
The owner of the channel, we'll call him Lizard, believes he's being haunted by the ghost of his childhood friend, David. David passed away when they were young, but a few weeks ago, David's mother reached out and gave Lizard a gift. A mask that the two boys used to wear during playtime. Ever since receiving that gift, strange things have been happening in Lizard's house. Shadows moving in his peripheral vision, the sound of someone calling his name when no one else is home. One night, Lizard wakes up to find his bedroom door wide open. He's certain he closed it before going to sleep, and he lives alone. As Lizard walks through the dark house, he hears movement coming from downstairs. At first, he assumes someone might have broken in, but as he tiptoes through the house, he sees something that makes his blood run cold. Something appears from one of the dark rooms, but is not a head. It's the mask that used to belong to David, floating in the darkness. Some viewers even say they can see a clawed hand gripping the door frame as the mask seems to stare at Lizard. Lizard slowly backs away, but with the mask blocking the way out of the house, there's nothing he can do but try to find somewhere to hide. As he's searching for a hiding place, Lizard encounters the mask again, only this time, it begins moving towards him. Panicked, Lizard runs and locks himself in a closet, the camera still rolling as he tries to catch his breath. video ends with him trapped, too terrified to come out. He's convinced that what he saw was David, his childhood friend, manifesting in his home. But the question remains, why would David be haunting him? And what does he want? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Rock City Bakery in West Virginia has been experiencing unexplained activity for years. Co-owner Morgan and her staff have grown accustomed to items being moved around the shop overnight, but one particular type of object kept reappearing no matter what they did. Plastic bowls, shaped like spider webs, would consistently turn up in locations where they shouldn't be. The staff jokingly blamed Harry, their nickname for whatever presence haunts the bakery. Morgan eventually threw away every spider bowl in the shop, hoping to end the activity. It worked for several months, until one busy afternoon when Morgan discovered a spiderweb bowl sitting on the customer couch. Confused about how it got there, she reviewed the security footage. The footage shows the bowl apparently emerging from a painting hanging on the bakery wall. The object materializes in a way that defies logical explanation. No customers or staff members were near the painting when this occurred. Morgan believed this was Harry's response to her throwing away the bowls, but the activity at Rock City Bakery wasn't finished. A few weeks later, during the late night hours, the security system captured something even more disturbing. Another object appears to emerge from a different painting in the bakery. This time, it's a soda can that materializes and falls to the floor. At the same moment, a plastic skeleton decoration also falls from its position. The timing of both events happening simultaneously suggests something was moving through the bakery. Morgan shared both videos online hoping someone could provide an explanation. No one has been able to explain how objects appear to phase through solid paintings, and the staff at Rock City Bakery continue to work alongside whatever Harry is. But these two incidents remain the most unsettling footage ever captured at the location. This final clip was uploaded to TikTok by Miguel58828, who shared the footage captured on his security camera from his family's home in Mexico. For the last few months, Miguel says he and his family have been noticing strange things happening around the house and in the yard around the property. They'd hear strange noises, almost like tiny voices whispering to each other. Then they started noticing objects going missing, only to turn up in seemingly random places. But then, a few months ago, Miguel's family were reviewing their security camera footage when they noticed something that stopped them cold.
Vino de entonces de por Doña Vicky, ¿verdad?
Sí, de aquí vino, de aquí bajó.
¿Y dónde está?
Ahí va.
Ahí está.
Ay, mira mi madre. Mírala, mírala. Ay.
Many commenters believe the family captured something like a fairy, or what's known in Mexican folklore as an alux, a small supernatural being. The family hasn't seen it again, but now they watch their security camera footage more carefully, wondering if this winged creature is still visiting their property. TikTok user Ashley Lynn purchased her first home in June 2024 from a family member. The house was only 20 years old, with no sinister history. Everything seemed perfect until she started hearing sounds coming from upstairs. Ashley decided to document her experiences on camera to prove she wasn't losing her mind.
I started to hear things upstairs when I was downstairs. I would hear a thud and both cats at the same time would look up the stairs. It's like, okay, so I'm not the only one who heard that. Awesome. I didn't think too much into it until my mom was staying in my guest room. And she just brought it up one day. She goes, hey, so I swear I heard someone whispering. Anyways, we went to go visit the relative that I bought this from because we had stuff to drop off. And we brought it up to her like, hey, so my mom heard someone whispering in this bedroom 2 nights in a row. And she responded, my daughter also heard that. So she's going to be actually really relieved to hear that she's not the only one.
After sharing her story, viewers urged Ashley to install a security camera in the spare bedroom. She was hesitant because part of her didn't want to see what might be there, but she needed answers. A few weeks after installing the camera, Ashley was downstairs trying to watch a movie. Every time she pressed play, she heard knocking sounds coming from upstairs.
Okay, so I'm a little freaked out. I've been off work for about an hour and I'm just trying to watch a movie. And every time I start the movie, I hear knocking upstairs. So I turned on the camera and I started to record it. Coco keeps looking towards the stairs. And it's freaking me out.
This is what the camera caught. The camera captured distinct knocking sounds with no visible source. Ashley's cat Coco kept staring towards the stairs, reacting to each knock. The pattern was always the same: 2 knocks, then silence, then 2 more knocks. Ashley performed another sage cleansing ritual, hoping to stop the activity. For 1 week, everything was quiet. Then the camera recorded something that would make Ashley question whether she could continue living in the house. The security footage shows Coco sensing something near the closet. The cat approaches cautiously, clearly aware of a presence humans can't detect. Then both closet doors move on their own, while Coco watches in confusion. Ashley received a motion alert on her phone and rushed upstairs to investigate.
I came up here because I got a notification on my camera that there was movement. So that's why I came up here and checked the closet. But no one is in the closet. Coco just went in there because, again, she's obsessed with going in closets. But Coco doesn't really seem scared of a lot of things. Also, I did check to make sure there's no crawl spaces, like any attic entrances, and there's not. Also, I unplugged the camera because, again, I don't need to know. If it's not evil, it's not hurting me, it's not hurting the cats, we can coexist.
When Ashley entered the room, she found the closet doors standing wide open. She checked inside thoroughly, but nothing was inside it and nowhere for it to go to. She was stumped by how the doors mysteriously opened by themselves. According to Ashley, as long as whatever shares her home isn't sinister, they can coexist. But she no longer wants to see proof of its presence, so she unplugged and boxed up the camera. However, that has left her with a question. What will happen in that bedroom now that no one's watching? Social media user Misty Huron says creepy things have been happening in her home for a while. While her husband is away working as a commercial truck driver, it starts small, like hearing noises from her baby monitor in the middle of the night, At first, she thinks it's just a glitch, but then one night, she swears she hears strange music playing through the monitor. When she checks the camera feed, she sees something that she can't explain. Misty uploads the footage to her social media and explains that her 10-year-old daughter Olivia used to sleep in what's now the nursery, but she now has a new bedroom upstairs. Her old bunk bed still sits in the baby's room, empty ever since the new baby arrived, which is why what Misty saw on the baby monitor really creeped her out. This is what she saw.
Oh my god, you guys. Oh my god. So I've been recording the baby monitor anytime the sound or the motion detection goes off so that I can show my husband because he's on the road and I wanted to send him all this crazy shit that's been going on. Watch this video and tell me what you see. I literally ran up there so fast. There's nothing in her room. I brought her downstairs. This motion and sound detectors are still going on. I'm freaking out right now.
Misty sees that directly above her sleeping baby, something is moving on the top bunk. Misty runs upstairs as fast as she can and checks the room, but there's nothing there. The top bunk is completely empty. After posting the footage online, viewers beg her to show more of the upstairs area, specifically that room. Terrified, but determined to prove what's happening, Misty goes back upstairs and starts recording.
We moved my daughter from this room into this room. She got new furniture. That's why the bunk bed is still in there. Then we moved the baby from my office, which used to be her bedroom, now it's my office again, up into this room. So this is the attic that's in between the rooms that I was talking about that's cracked. It's been that way for a while, so it's not something that I'm overly concerned about, but y'all have got me freaking out in the comments. I cannot even breathe walking in this room, so I am truly terrified, but I'm gonna walk y'all in here real quick. This is the bunk bed. This is where I took her out of her crib, ran up the bunk bed. There was nothing up there when I came. We have her rocking chair, her changing station, her closet with all of the stuff that we still need to put up. This is where I have everything that was gifted. I know a lot of y'all were saying check stuff that came from a thrift store or that wasn't yours because it might be causing it. I will show you guys up here. There's nothing suspicious. There's no hair from like a rat or something that could have came in. This is marker. These are still tucked in on the sides, like they're still tight from, you know, if somebody was trying to be underneath the blankets. I don't think that's plausible. So I don't know. I have no idea what could be causing it. Oh my God, it's rocking.
Misty walks viewers through the room, explaining why the bunk bed is still there. She approaches the bunk bed and shows the top bunk. There's nothing there, but suddenly the rocking chair next to the bed starts moving all on its own. Misty screams and runs from the room. She says she was so scared. She then took her kids to stay with her parents until her husband returned home, because if something paranormal is haunting the baby's room, it's making its presence known and is getting bolder.
Oh my God, it's rocking.
TikTok user Alexis Lachica works the closing shift at a movie theater in Mexicali, Mexico. By 3 a.m, the building should be completely empty except for the cleaning staff, but everyone who works there knows the truth. After the last movie ends and the doors lock, the theater belongs to something else. Staff have reported hearing a woman crying in empty screening rooms and seeing apparitions wandering the corridors. Most employees refuse to work alone after midnight, but Alexis needs the extra pay, so he volunteers for the graveyard shift. On this particular night, he decides to live stream his cleaning routine to prove the ghost stories are nonsense. That decision would change everything.
La luz. Se apaga la luz, pero a la madre. ¿Oyeron? No, se escuchan gritos. ¡A la bestia! Güey, ¿qué pedo? Ya me voy. Ya se prendió, mira, ya me voy. Verga. Qué pinche miedo. Si estoy solo. Yo salí del baño y andaba para allá. Y allá es donde se me iba esa cosa. Vete a la... ¿Se escuchan? La puerta. Vaya, no va a pasar. Me volvieron a apagar la luz. No, ya me voy. Ya me voy. Ya me voy. Pero lo que querían saber era ya. Ya me voy. A ver. Tengo miedo.
While live streaming in the lower level hallway, every light in the building suddenly cuts out. When the dim emergency lights finally flick on, the unmistakable sound of a woman crying begins echoing through the empty corridors. Alexis moves cautiously through the hallway as the crying grows louder. Then, as he pans his camera down the corridor towards the support pillars, a figure can be seen peeking out, staring directly at him. According to theatre records, a woman sadly passed away in this building in 1987. Her body was found in the lower level hallway, the exact section where Alexis captured this footage. And for Alexis, he quit the next morning and never returned to the theatre. Thanks so much for watching. If you're up for more scary videos, check out one of these next. You're gonna love them. Oh, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.